When he went out, he was suddenly hit by a ray. Lightning strikes them. In an instant, Alex's limbs are paralyzed. Soon he fainted. When he woke up, he wasn't in hell. Were taken to the hospital by neighbors. After going through many tests, the results showed that Alex did not have serious problems. There are only a few scars left behind his back. May occasionally experience vomiting and dizziness, but not enough to intimidate Alex's life. So they advised him to go home and drink therapeutic drugs. But since then, strange things start happening one after another. In the evening, when Alex was playing the piano, then the fire suddenly burned, as if it were a warning point of a disaster. As soon after, outside the thunder rumbles, the lights also began to go on. Alex curiously walked out the door and witnessed a bizarre sight. It doesn't rain and hail, it rains fish again. But Alex didn't even care. He also suspected that he was dreaming, until the mark on the neck is detected, made things even more strange. When he was still in power, a knock on the door suddenly sounded. Alex carefully opened the steel door and received. It turned out to be his neighbor. She fell into Alex's lap. The whole body was full of blood. There is no other way. Alex had to take her into the house. Looking at the blood stains on her body, Alex realizes something should immediately call electricity to the elderly neighbor, but no one answered the phone. To ensure neighbors are safe, Alex hurried past his house. Tomorrow, he is still safe and sound. Alex said that his wife had been ill and is currently at home. He then asked him to call a car, immediate ambulance. But the old man looked confused because of his wife. He had just come down from upstairs. What's wrong? No way. You're okay. At this time, Alex was completely confused. He touched the woman's belly, but there were no signs of wounds. So who was the person who had just asked for help? At this time, he just wanted to go back home to see people. Is that woman still there? But when he returned to the exam room next to him, there is no shadow of anyone. The room was frighteningly quiet. What's even weirder is that Alex's whole body is soaking wet, but not in the mirror. There is no drop of water. He felt that all of this was related to. The next day, he returned to the hospital to conduct an examination, comprehensive investigation again. The results are still completely normal. The doctor concluded that he had a concussion, pity him psychologically and advised him to continue and go home to take medication. When they both returned home, Alex told his girlfriend that yesterday's story is sleepwalking because everything is so real. He said that when he was a child, he used to be sleepwalking. Wake up in the middle of the night and play the piano. When you wake up, his fingers were crushed by the keys, but it's been more than 10 years since he high. No more sleepwalking. He only hopes for strange things. Monsters will not happen again. But in the evening, Alex lies in bed forever without sleep, should decide to go out for a walk. He was at rest. Then I saw it too. The police car headed to the neighbor's house. Alex hurriedly ran after him and saw a horrible sight. The neighbor woman was piled on the bed. On her hand she wears 2 wedding rings, and the old man was killed in the living room. His quality is extremely tragic. Alex was completely scared to the point, vomiting. Hear the sound of light sprinkles. It's all just a hallucination. But he realized he was in a neighbor's house. When he was still confused, the little dog ran in. Alex hurriedly hid in the room. Tomorrow, Alex was able to escape. So, undetected. After the old man left, Alex hurriedly ran home. In his head, constantly thinking about the strange things recently. At this time, his girlfriend also stepped down. The feeling is very real. There were police at the scene. Forensics, Leo and Maria are dead. This matter has nothing to do with medicine. What do you mean? Alex didn't want to say much at this time. I just want to be quiet. Body. But as soon as the door opened, he heard a familiar voice. Don't leave the house. This scene, Alex had dreamed before, and it tied. Exactly identical. Now, it happened again. He turned his head in confusion. The scene in the dream once again reappeared. He seemed to be able to see the future. Don't leave. Stay with me. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. He knew a bird would fly in through the door, because he saw it in advance, like his mother. She said she could see the hall. What is going to happen in the future? What do you think happens to Mother is happening to him? The next morning, Alex finally revealed a secret that has been hidden for many years. His mother had the ability to predict the future. She once predicted a case, sinking the ship. But then, she lost her mind, and was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. If you are like your mother, dream about the essence of the elderly couple is about to become a reality. Therefore, he wants his girlfriend to go and warn them, as they don't believe even his dreams. They are still preparing to go on vacation at the beach. To save them, Alex's family also followed. but I haven't found the old couple yet. Yet, the curly-haired boy suddenly saw a cafe and asked his sister to come in and play. Alex had to temporarily put aside his official duties, heavy. But a few minutes later, only the little girl ran out. She said that my son suddenly became very strange. Alex hurriedly ran into the cave. I saw the curly-haired boy, the head of the person on the spot. His eyes also became evil. Until Alex calls the boy's name. He only had a reaction again. At this time, they no longer have an investigative mind, so the whole family hurriedly drove home. Do you remember what happened? What? A monster. Monster. Its face was burned. I only see it briefly. Pass for a second. Alex only knows how to eat a son. In the future, there will be no such thing as, that's it. But in the evening, when he went to bed, Alex couldn't take a nap. He sat down as usual again, in front of the piano, and he started playing a piece of music composed by him. But then he felt that there was something is wrong. His fingers were suddenly stained with blood. The piano box is constantly playing, out of stupid sounds. Alex was curious to open the box and was horrified. Discovered that his girlfriend was locked inside. Her body was full of wounds caused by beaten lying there. It seemed as if it was about to pass. Alex was completely happy to touch. He didn't understand what was going on. In a moment of confusion, he was suddenly startled and woke up easily in bed, thinking that everything just now, it is a nightmare. But the scars on it, Judy proves, that's not a hallucination. Because of the continuous interest periods, Alex decided to take the kids, go outside to relax. But right then, he received a call. That's right. I found out the reason for the house. I already have cat do. It turned out that Alex's house used to, rented by a box animal house. He used to use binoculars to observe the 9, but the neighbors thought that they were minding their minds. Then he and his neighbors happened. Rushed, and he left. What is difficult to understand is that in the past, Alex asked the neighbor, but they affirmed that they did not know that tenant. To investigate the facts, Alex has found a tenant before. According to his account, during a bird's nest observation, his binoculars accidentally, towards the window of the house, neighbor and he sees a strange sight. They hid a gun in the house, glass. That very night, a truck appeared. 4 men holding a dance. Gas got out of the car. Later, Lau found himself being tracked and started threatening them to leave immediately. Else, don't know what will happen. Suspicious of these strange things, related to the Dehao neighborhood. So Alex sneaked in Mr. Lau's back garden. Indeed, as the tenant said, Alex found the gun in the drawer. But before he had time to do anything, he saw that Lau clicked on the code lock. The steel door immediately closed. What are you doing here? I just want to ask one question. Alex questioned the gun, but the old man did not answer. Instead, he took Alex to a ship and explained everything, made Alex wonder. As it turned out, a drug dealer named Souza, in order to protect his interests, without any tricks, even public, challenged the police. No one is taken for granted. And his current wife, he was also Ellie, used to be Souza's henchman. But, in one delivery, she was arrested by the police. The old man was the master who defended her. If she provides information about Souza, the scene will give her a new identity. Then he quickly realized something is not okay and disappears without a trace. Ellie was later released and did not. How long later did she fall in love with the old man? In order to avoid Souza's revenge, they took refuge in a small house in the mountains. 4 people wearing masks that tenants, seeing is actually the police. They came to announce that Souza is dead, and not. It is necessary to continue to be afraid of the place again. The story of the old man, clearing all doubts. Alex drove home and began to wonder whether I am really mentally ill. Unknowingly he saw the truck is approaching. Alex immediately picked up the binoculars and saw a horrifying sight. The scene of robbers breaking in and killing neighbors. Exactly what Alex saw in the rain. And at that moment, it began to rain frozen fish again. Soon after, old neighbor hugging, rushed towards Alex. Alex hurriedly opened the steel door. A familiar scene reappears in front of his eyes. He once again carried the old lady into the house. Immediately afterwards, a gunshot rang out. Maybe the old neighbor was killed. Alex was going to come out and check it out, but he found out the one who squeezes the person is approaching him. He immediately returned to the room and woke up the family sleeping in the car. Then he drove away from the villa. As Alex looks ahead, again, everything just happened seems to be just a hallucination. There was no sign of rain at all. And how? The mark on his wrist disappeared again. When he returned to his room, the old lady had also disappeared as he had guessed. His curled hair in the mirror is also. There was no water at all. I swear I've seen 5. The man who wears the face mask stepped down from a red truck. Before, I told you that. I see your hallucination. Say it again. What did you see? He has done too much damage. I love you. I'm asking you. My hands and feet are dimmed. I beg you not to kill me. This happened not long ago. Exactly as he described. It turned out that Judy was dazzled. Not hallucinations, but it really happened a few months ago. That day, she and her friends attended a big party with hundreds of people. Because of her beautiful appearance, she quickly got to know a few people, men, and have sympathy for a guy who was broken. But she didn't know that Mr. Tay was a guy who is nothing. He lured Judy into a room and secretly recorded the video. When Judy found out, she was angry and wanted to leave. But another man entered the room. They stopped her, not to go out and do the unacceptable threats. They even recorded videos. After that, he didn't let go of Judy. They planned to kill her, to cover up the clues. But a man who was pushing down unexpectedly. The shattered glass sharded into his neck. Initially, the rest of them all thought he was fake. But, they gradually realized that something was wrong. When they got closer, they saw that he was dead. The rest of the people were completely panicked. Unexpectedly, everything went so far. But now definitely not. Can call the police. Otherwise, everything will be exposed. So, the decision to dazzle Judy again and locked her in the basement. They then choose an assassin to deal with Judy. But that scumbag clearly never kill people, so they don't dare to use knives. Instead, he was going to use his hands to cut Judy's throat to death. In just a moment, Judy suffocates and loses consciousness. He thought she was dead, then left the basement. But he didn't know that Judy just fainted. 10 minutes later, she woke up and cut the wire with a piece of glass, rope, and successfully escaped through the window. Not long after, Judy took them to court and the cell. They must return their prison sentences. But the darkness in Judy's heart, forever, cannot be erased. When Alex was heartbroken for her, daughter suddenly ran over and told his father that his brother had a strange expression. Alex immediately entered the room. I saw the curly-haired boy standing in silence by the bedside, scared to the point of uncontrollable urination. Alex carried him to bed. I know the boy is also capable of prophecy like me. It can only be continuously reassured that it was just a hallucination. The next day, Judy came to him and introduced him with a doctor who treated her. When she was raped and mentally depressed, it was this doctor who treated her. Alex had no other choice. He went to that doctor. After hearing about his condition, the doctor recommends applying the clinical hypnosis to find out if it's really what happened. When the machine is started, Alex sinks into his memories. His mother seemed to get something bad. She hurriedly ran into the room. Sun and Bao had to leave the villa immediately. His father heard the herd. The cave also ran in. Finally, he was able to control her. Then they brought her in. The hospital will know that she had just experienced a nightmare. She dreamed that she was in a place that has never been known. On the wall, there are green hugs and an old man playing chess. Alex and a woman were there too, living a life that does not belong to them. In the end, he gradually fell into danger. So, his mother was crazy and advised him to leave there. The dream process stops here. Alex feels that his mother can know something, so he invited him to go to a mental hospital. Seeing her mother again after a long time apart, but her prophetic abilities made her separation from reality and disease became more serious. No matter what Alex asked, she still didn't answer. Alex had to give up this immensity. But when she saw that Alex was about to leave her mother, he suddenly remembered something. I have been to a place. I have never seen it before. White walls and Nagdi. Mr. Sang was very excited. On the wall, there are green hugs and an old man playing chess with a woman there. But it wasn't his wife. He lived a full life. It doesn't belong to me. And that put him in danger. At this time, Alex's mother looked full of astonishment, and Alex, when he returned, have not realized anything. He participates in the seasonal festival. Winter is an annual booked, accidentally seeing a familiar scene. The man in front of him is the murdered an elderly couple. Alex couldn't believe his eyes. He quietly chased after him, but found him, got into the car, and drove past him. Alex. When he took a picture, returned. He began to think about termites, inter-event contact. And it was at that moment that hallucinations of him reappeared. Alex saw the old neighbor who had died. So he took out the standard recorder, recorded everything that happened. At that time, someone walked out of the house of Leo and Maria, and then moved in this direction. Calm down. This is not reality. But this time, the murderer didn't see you. He went straight into the room, because he wanted to leave evidence. Alex recorded all the details. He finally arrived at the warehouse, and shot and detonate cars. When the murderer leaves, Alex immediately followed and saw Judy sat in the car. She was shot on the spot by him. Alex was extremely angry, but soon afterwards, something more horrible happened. His ex-wife was also murdered on the street. Alex hugged his body. She sank into misery, but the hallucinations quickly disappeared. Everything is back to normal. But there are still frozen fish in the production, cold, and there were still bloodstains in the room. He was confused when he heard external engine noise. He ran back to look and saw the red truck is driving away. Alex immediately chased and discovered the murderer is disposing of the body. His entire family was killed. The body is neatly arranged, neatly in an earthen lake. Alex records everything, but the murderer does not leave. He continued to bring down 2 more bodies. But Alex didn't recognize them. Only seeing on the woman's face, the woman has a birthmark, and the man was a bald man with a bride. But the terrible thing is not yet. Stop there. The murderer continues to bring down 1 more body. That person was Alex. He couldn't believe the ignorance. What's going on? Unexpectedly, the murderer killed 8 people. At that moment, Alex remembered what his mother had said. Always told me to avoid that house. Is everything related about this house? With that in mind, he hurried home to clean up the house, then drove to the airport. On the way, he called. Girlfriend told her, quickly took the children away. But soon after, accident occurred. When he regained consciousness, Alex was in the hospital. Alex, I can't let you get out of the hospital. There are 2 people who want to talk to you about your children. Alex was then taken into the interrogation room. But those 2 policemen are the ones who corpse in his hallucination. When disaster is imminent, he told them everything and turned on the recording. But they still didn't believe his words until, when listening to the last recording, the woman looked astonished. Is a woman. I don't know her. Her face has birthmarks or burns of some kind. He wears something like a gun holster at his waist. And one man. He asked first, there is a bride. I don't know who they are. And, why are they here? Even so, the police still did not believe it. They think Alex is mentally deranged, and forced him into a mental institution, finally locked him in a cell. Fortunately, at that time, another patient became ill. Doctors all rushed to treat, so Alex took the opportunity to flee. He had to go back to save his family. But at that moment, he saw the figure of the murderer. So he hurriedly stole the silent motorcycle, followed them but walked. A section ran out of gas. When he didn't know what to do, the killer circled behind him. Do you live on the other side of the cliff? You're going there, aren't you? Is one of those 2 houses your house? The man offered to wait for Alex for a while. Realizing that the other party has a numerical intention, Alex has no choice, other than getting on the bus. Looking at the big guys in the car, I don't know how to save his family. Didn't you say you lived alone? I saw that the lights in the house were on. In order to save the elderly neighbor and his wife, Alex offered to go with them, but the man flatly refused, forcing Alex to return home. Then, the fully armed man was silent, broke into Mr. Lau's house. Alex went back home to tell the family. The communal house left immediately. But unexpectedly, 2 long-awaited policemen. They planned to take Alex back to the hospital. At that moment, the house suddenly moved. Outside it rains frozen fish. Not hallucinations. When everyone is still confused, the door was suddenly cornered. Alex opened the door. Saw the old neighbor seriously injured. He immediately took her into the house. When the police officer goes bald, was about to call for rescue, heard gunshots rang out. From the opposite side, the murderer then drove towards them. When the car stopped, the horn of the car rang loudly, but there was no movement inside. Everyone carefully approached, opened the car door and found the murderer is dead. Impossible. Impossible. This can't happen. Alex couldn't believe it, and went back to his room. He felt that something had been. Change your dreams. After the name of the rub is the first person to load. When he didn't understand anything, the neighbor suddenly called. The radio said there were 5 people. Break into your home. But fortunately, he still had a gun. He took them all down, but he is currently seriously injured. Hope Alex can come and help. So Alex led too. The police came to his house. Saw the body lying on the floor. Those bodies are in the right place that he had seen in his dreams. Female police officer searches for information, news about the victims. Then the discovery proves that is Interpol. Right up next, the policewoman had just walked upstairs when suddenly sold by a masked man. He slowly took off his mask, and that was the old neighbor. It turned out that it was all in his plan. His true identity is drug lord Souza. Souza is just a nickname for A, who plays many roles. The stories he told, Alex is just a fabrication. He and his wife hid here to evade the police, but I didn't expect Alex to be able to see the future, so he was forced to kill Alex's whole family. After shining Alex again, he went into the chicken and sold through the car. He murdered Alex's entire family. On the next day, at the crime scene, he put them all on the ground. When Alex thinks he's sure must be piled up, he suddenly entered another hallucination. He returned to the moment he was judged and beaten, and the neighbors found out about him. Eventually, he was taken to the hospital again, and everything that happens is Alex's dream. You were judged to beat them, you didn't. I'm really lucky. If no neighbors find out, the consequences could have been much more serious. Luckily, they took him to the hospital in time. Does not leave.
Enjoyed the video? Hit subscribe, drop a like, share with your crew, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk movies.